This is a wedge, an RF wedge, either the same as or similar to the one that was created in the previous tutorial. Had a minor God crash and lost our ending point. We're going to take this and make this into a culvert type tunnel that one could use as a connector between two areas. Doing this, you'll get a chance to see one method of workflow with the R boxes. This happens to be my workflow. If you're interested in really getting into this, you're going to want to come to one of our on-site intensives so you can watch how EJ works with these. He creates thousands upon thousands of these boxes, and his hands just whiz across the keyboard. He has amazing workflow, but that unfortunately can't really be transmitted through the medium of these videos. You really need to be there. So see if you can get yourself signed up. Meanwhile, let's see what we can do. Alright, first thing we want to do is create a mirror of this particular wedge that goes on the other side. So let's do that. Now what we are not going to do is use the same box, the same room, to make two boxes. You don't do it. One domain, one box. That's the rule. So I click Add. Now we have our next domain, which happens to be domain 2. I come over here, I grab this wall, and I'm not going to do what you shouldn't do. I'm going to do what you should do. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, there's the first wall. We have to point that to 2, which is our domain that we just created. Now you'll notice that I put this box over so that I would not be going right over the top of this existing line. You have to make these walls so that every wall has its own points. You don't want to click on an existing wall corner, otherwise it connects it, and that's not what we want to do. Okay, at this point, if we save, load, and look at it in the editor, you'll see no wedge. Simply fixed. We come over here to the points. We bring this up 128. We take the other point, bring that up 128, save, load, edit, and there we have it. Very nice. Let's go over to the editor, and I want to move these over a little bit. Now then, let's put a flat connector. So I make another domain, and I'm going to give this a floor of 128, a ceiling of 160, and this is going to be a plain old R box. This is domain 3. So I take one of our existing walls, and I come over here, make sure that points to domain 3, and there we have our connector. All I have to do is bring this in, save, load, edit. Okay, now we're starting to get a nice little tunnel going. Just go back into the editor, go to our domains, add a new domain, and I'm going to give this, want to be selected on our last domain. Now let's click Add, because we want it to carry forward the R box, and let's give it a floor of 0. So we come back over to our walls, point this toward 3. Is that correct? No, we want to point it toward 4. And let's bring this in. And now we'll go back to our domains and we'll add a new one. You'll notice that it carried forward the R box as well as the floor. So start a new wall, point to domain 5, let's snug that up, save, load, edit. Interesting. Alright, there's a couple of issues. The top of our tunnel is brighter than the walls, and that just doesn't look right. If we come over to our R boxes, like this one here, you'll notice that the floor light is 0 and the ceiling light is -4. Let's make the floor light a -4 as well. We'll do that on all of these guys. If you look at the walls, you notice that they have a light of -4. Now, that's looking pretty good. So, if we're going to make this a connector between two domains, we have to block those domains. But before we do that, I want to show you a fun trick. I'm coming over to points. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Now that's more than I want to go. I want to go 64. So I change this to 64. And I'm dragging these points over. You'll see in a moment the effect that this will create. Save, load, peek. Check this out. We have a nice indent on the walls, and we have this area poking out. I want to take this up a little bit though. So we come over, go to our domains, and I'm going to set these up to 192. Oops, keep that at 384. There, that looks better. That's a nicer proportion, at least for my eye. Now, to finish this off, let's take this wall and drag it all the way over there, this wall all the way over there, and let's bring the ceiling of our outer room down to 192. Now that's looking interesting. But I want to convert the ceiling to brick 1. I'm going to take the ceiling light down a little bit. Now we have two rooms separated by this little tunnel created with R boxes and RFWedge. Alright, this gives you a taste of what's possible. Keep in mind what I said about making sure that every box is its own domain and you won't get into any trouble. If you do, just give us a email, drop us a line, or get in contact and we'll sort it out with you. Good luck with your God blue lining.